One morning, on a busy OPD day, walked a 9-year-old child with bilateral complicated cataract secondary to chronic uveitis. Her vision was counting finger 1 meter in both eyes. She was on tablet methotrexate once a week and low-dose tablet prednisolone. Preliminary diagnosis made by my uvea friend was VKH syndrome. We waited for the eye to remain quiet for about 2 months before deciding to take up her for surgery. Once I began releasing the posterior synechia, I realized that going would be tough. The child had broad-based posterior synechia and the whole iris pasted on anterior surface of the lens. The iris was atrophic, creating small holes in it with the movements of the spatula. Some blood would also ooze, which was controlled with viscotamponade. I had never faced such a posterior synechia before this. Next was the mechanical stretching of the pupil for proper visualization of the lens, but the dilatation wasn't good enough even at the end of it. So finally the iris hook came to my rescue and was able to achieve good exposure of anterior surface of the lens. Another thing which was remarkable in this case was the red glow. I had never seen such a bright red glow. With the hard work done without much of damage, capsulorhexis was done as usual using cystitome and capsulorhexis forceps. After good hydrodissection, the cortex was aspirated using coaxial irrigation aspiration handpiece. The red glow became even more remarkable. The most important objective of this surgery, implantation of foldable acrylic intraocular lens in the bag, was achieved. The hooks were removed without causing much trauma to the surrounding tissues. A piece of organized exudate was cut using Vanna's scissors. Viscoelastic in AC was washed off and wounds hydrated. The child did well in the first eye with 6/6 and 6 vision, and the eyes were quiet for more than a month after surgery. It gave me courage to take up the other eye next. This time I was more confident, proud that I had given her 6/6 in the other eye. Synechiolisis was initiated. As you could see, the movements of the spatula was much more aggressive this time, causing more holes in the iris during the process, and probably more oozing of the blood as well. And when I went to the other side to do the same, look, what have I done? I ripped the anterior capsule, mistaking it for organized exudates. After realizing the damage that had been done, I abandoned the mechanical stretching of the pupil and went straight for the iris hooks. Then a respectable sized opening in the remnant of anterior capsule was made. Gentle hydrodissection was done, taking care to avoid further extension of the anterior capsular tear. The cortex was aspirated using coaxial irrigation aspiration handpiece, hoping not to land in further trouble now on. And now we get a better picture. The rhexis margin is seen here and is deficient this side. With this in mind, I went ahead with IOL implantation in the bag. The lens was quite stable initially. Then I decided to make relaxing cuts on the formed side of the rhexis. This was to prevent uneven contraction of the bag in future. With the IOL slightly decentered, the viscoelastic was aspirated. At this point, the IOL decided to go for a walk to one side, sinking my heart with all bad thoughts of what would happen next. Once its drift got arrested, a gentle dialing of the lens was attempted. Slowly, I could see it behaving again. To my relief, it did get centered again and remained so when the viscoelastic was washed off. Gently the wounds were hydrated and I didn't dare to cut the organized exudate this time. God remained kind to me and the child got 6, 6 and 6 in this eye as well. This was the picture about 2 months after the second surgery. As you can see, the rhexis has already contracted in the first eye and was not seen in the left eye, but the lens was still centered. God has been kind to this pediatric uveitis patient. Thank you for your attention.